I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties.
Paimon's dizzy.
This day's going just great.
What a nuisance.
The sand dune I saw an energy field. It glowed green with Dendro. Just like you said. The Dendro Archon. The present.
Grandpa? Grandpa!
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization. It could have been an underground
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
As it happens, I want...
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be...
Paimon thought you were...
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. Or creature, you could say. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have any...
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people. Right now...
Oh, is it time for me to join you?
Gonna be epic!
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside. Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Yeah! And there's so many plants. It's so pretty!
Sir Rahman,
Huh? Are you mocking me?
interpret it however you want.
Whatever you say.
There's nothing to...
It does seem...
Silence!
Strike a pose!
Bow your head. Settle down!
Let my name echo in song!
Be sanctified. Bow your head. The tides beckon.
Yoo-hoo!
settle down.
Strike a pose! Phew!
Justice is blindsided.
Going in!
Bow your head. Be sanctified. That's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Wait. What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest. His wisdom is a miracle among the people. deserving of
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The element, the scent of life. Is it trying to tell us?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization.
Isn't sharing...
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization, it was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis.
you were blinded by your prejudice.
How could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known.
Rahman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of...
Dia, tell me, my Eremites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Hey,
I should probably go. Can't just...
what's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're... But please...
It's not gonna be...
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's...
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow. I'll convince everyone, and I'll return every last one of your mad...
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes.
That must have been rough. But he seems to have figured things out now.
Rahman's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction, it's too bad he was held back by his...
The outcome, at least...
We should get going too. Let's head back. Sino, we're leaving.
Stop yelling.
Raman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village.
I guess all I can...
Don't matter.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help.
We've been all over the...
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick, please! Swift and painless!
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turn pale like they've seen a ghost!
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders! You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by our...
No, not Sino! He's gonna tear us limb from limb!
I could do worse.
Please have mercy!
Start talking.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They, wanted to...
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine...
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry!
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like,
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis, and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, do you wish to create...
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a device. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Alhaitham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean? Is she not a true god present in this world?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Ruka Devata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's Gnosis has been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The two new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh! Paimon's so
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work.
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there will be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression.
So, everyone.
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about...
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and call...
Candace! We're here! Has everyone arrived?
Everyone is already...
Well, what are we waiting for?
Please. Wait a moment. Before attending...
What do you need?
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too reckless.
What do you think?
Okay.